Hey guys, today we're here at Prodigy Promos just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah, and we're gonna go in and check it out. Hey, I'm Dylan.
Mike, nice to meet you.
Hey, see. Let's check it out, man.
Yeah. So, this is our HQ. We built this in 2015 and started working out of it in 2016.
Was it pretty empty, or did you have to?
It was just a flat, empty lot.
Oh,
so
really?
It was our concept.
Oh, the whole
our
thing
building.
you guys made.
Yeah, we were operating across the street, and we were doing all of our production and sales out of there, and we had a warehouse about a mile down the road. But the owner wanted to sell that, and we said it's too small for what we need, but he offered us the lot here. And so we took him up on it, and it was a fun project.
So did you guys buy the lot then?
Bought the lot, and then built
the whole facility?
Yeah, we needed a warehouse, and so
Right.
most of this is meant for the warehouse, but we have our offices.
Is this a conference room?
Yeah, we got a conference room down here, upstairs. Jason, the owner,
Oh, look at that.
really likes like the skate culture.
Yeah.
And so we've got that vibe. If we go up in his office, you'll see.
How often are you getting clients coming in?
Oh, every day. It was pretty slow during,
COVID stuff. Yeah.
But we have a lot more people coming in, and just when we want to get the whole company together, that's a great
Right. Yeah, it's awesome to be
little
able to
place
sit down together.
hang out.
Yeah.
So down here we got sales team here, but upstairs is kind of where.
All of up here is art department.
So we've got accounting in that corner, we've got ops in that corner, and then this is the artist corral for when they're in the building.
Right.
They're often jumping between home or production, or wherever.
So what do you guys do? Is there anybody over at the other facility when it comes to like press checks or anything? Are they like running stuff back and forth?
A lot of text messages, but yeah, our sales reps will just run over. We got some scooters, that will ferry people back and forth. But yeah, we don't do a whole lot with customers in person.
Right.
Most of them kind of just trust us to make that judgment call.
Right. I just didn't know as far as like before it hits press, a press check of like the sales guy being like, oh yeah, that's what they envisioned and that's what they wanted. So
yeah, if the text message usually is the primary way. If there's questions, then they'll just jump on that scooter, go look at it in press.
Over.
But yeah.
Well, it's not that far, so.
It's not, and
Right.
I think they do put a lot of trust and faith in the production team to kind of get it right.
What is this room here?
It's just a little kind of smaller conference room, just for
Quick meeting?
Yeah, or if you need to step out, because it's pretty open here. Everyone can kind of hear you talking, so if you want to take a private call. This is Jason's office. He's the owner and mastermind of everything.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Jason, this is Dylan.
Hey, I'm Dylan.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Good.
I like your office. We were very jealous of your view.
Oh, and that's not bad, right?
It's just not bad.
So Prodigy started because he was working in a company that did both manufacturing and sales. Loved sales, not so much manufacturing.
Right.
So we broke off just to do brokering, right? And that lasted all of 5 years until Jason landed a couple of customers.
Got sick of sending it to people and having it not
It's just
work out.
reliable. Yeah. In theory, it'd be nice if it worked out really well, but it didn't.
I hear that from a lot of people, and that we were just talking about that the other day about how most screen printing shops start because you're a sales guy and you're trying to send it out to people, but people keep messing it up, and then you're like, screw it, I'm just gonna do it by myself.
Right.
Or you were in a band and you sold merch and you were like, I'm just gonna keep doing this to make money because the band sucks.
That's funny, yeah.
So it's like the two paths to like become a printer of.
It was trading one set of problems for another, but this one's been something at least we can control. It's been a lot better. So it's good.
So how long were you guys all in one building before you decided to make this one?
2012 is when we moved to that building, and that lasted all of 8 months before we had to lease that warehouse to start working with all the big race clients. Because we solved all their purchasing problems and manufacturing problems, but then they had way too much inventory and logistics became a problem. So that's when we got into logistics and warehousing and fulfillment. So
you guys had to grow that pretty fast then to keep up with.
It was quite the ride.
It worked out good too. The guy that was leasing that, we just bought the land. This is land, so we built this. It's worked out well.
Right. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so about 2012 to 2015, we were in 2 different buildings. But 2016, we were still in 2 different buildings, but we were right across the street from each other.
Right. No, we always talk about that because there are people that aren't as lucky of having it so close, and they have to find a manufacturing facility like a couple blocks away or a mile away. It's just hard to have that disconnect.
We even found just going across the street. Yeah, the other building we used to lease was just across the freeway. It was close, but it seemed like we just never connected because of that.
Right. There's a disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
even just not walking by each other and seeing how things are going kind of messes with the flow.
It's really easy for conspiracy theories to start,
Right.
So-and-so's trying to, stall my order or whatnot, but no, it's good to be back.
That's awesome. So you guys doing pretty well with everything considering as far as...
Yes, yeah. Just new challenges every day, right?
I feel like everybody I've talked to has just been like overly busy, like especially this year.
Yeah, it's been busy, but it's also we're busy doing things that did require a lot of work before, just trying to track inventory down.
Well, that's
all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's just a new challenge every day, but it's good.
Yeah.
So
logistics right now, especially now that ink is starting to be in a shortage too.
Yeah, that's ink is a shortage.
We ran into,
Yeah, you can't get blanks.
Yeah, they're saying by first quarter 2022 that if you don't have an ink mixing system, if you're buying just ready for use inks, you're going to be screwed.
Really? That's crazy.
Yep. The big problem right now too is they can't source the pails, so they have no way of sending you ink. Like they have ink, but they don't have anything to put it in. So they might be sending ink in bags.
Yeah, that's funny. So you can't make this stuff up. And
No.
Every day is another one. Like,
It's another thing.
Thought this is going to be a challenge.
Right. It's funny, like we were talking about a little while ago, where it was like getting black hoodies. It was like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And now it's like most blanks, and now it's blanks and ink.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you tell your customer when they're like, hey, I want to place this order, and you're just like, I don't have ink to print on your shirts. They're like, well, what?
And
I
you
don't
guys for a
understand.
hacker, like, just.
Oh, hats is a nightmare. I just tell people now, like,
just don't even.
let us know in 2022 if you still want hats.
It's wild.
That's what I said, I can't really complain, like if we were super slow and we had to deal with stuff like that, it would be a nightmare. But being like, oh, we're really busy and productive and profitable, it's just another challenge.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you wanna go check out the
Yeah, we can.
facility so those guys can go to lunch or whatever?
Yep, and we can do a little
Hey,
detour
that's great.
through.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us come in here and hang out and check stuff out.
So this is where everything ends up. We print most of it, but we're not opposed to fulfilling
Right,
other vendors' product.
right. How much of your business is fulfillment? Like customers coming to you and they're like, can you fulfill it? And you're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's a good foot in the door. I would say most of our customers have already ordered from us.
Right.
And they're just struggling with keeping all of their swag in a closet and having a hard time tracking it. And so we, pitch to them the fulfillment aspect, and then but we're kind of in between. When we built this, we were doing tons of import, and so we over provisioned all the pallet racking.
Right.
And came up with these little boxes to fill in.
Did you get them custom made?
We did. There's a company up in Salt Lake that helped us design them, but you can see behind, they only go 24 inches deep, so there's all this wasted space.
Yep.
So what you see behind us is our conversion to shelving, where we can store a lot more. So we'll have 50% more bin locations in the same footprint with shelves as opposed to what we've got here. And there's not going to be any walking up and down stairs. So that's a work in progress. But yeah, we're excited about doing that.
You need one of those, I don't know what they are. They're kind of like forklifts, but it's just a bucket that you sit in and you just drive it around and go up and down.
Yeah, the little cherry pickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this is where we do all of our receiving and shipping. So only finished or completely received jobs make it to production.
So are you getting like USPS pulling up to get all this stuff, and then over in the other facility they're getting?
Yeah, it's just from us. No.
Right.
So the only people that go to the building, the production building, is our employees saying, "Here's completed product," or "completed blank product for this job." But so this is kind of the receiving process. We've got more of those bins in this aisle, and then all of our bulk storage is the other two. Bays.
Now, did you guys plan a specific amount of square footage here for this when you built the building, or were you just kind of like, let's see if we can fill it?
We just tried to max it out, and the budget came in a little bit high, so it is maybe 2,000 square feet smaller than what we expected.
Well, the nice thing is you went so high.
We went high.
Because you can go as high as you can go.
Yeah, and so if we're thinking long term, it's probably more likely that we'll end up putting a mezzanine in here, and just convert all of the bin picking to this, and then this can be our long-term storage. So we've got options. It's nice to
for sure.
be flexible, but it's kind of a bottleneck right now, as you can see.
Well, you could always, cherry pick like the customers that are really good fulfillment customers and kind of start turning down the ones that you have the space for. I mean, you can just maximize who's a good one and who's not.
And that's usually how we've adapted in the different like services that we provide. It's usually this customer has a need. It's not anything we've done before, but we kind of, rally the troops to make it happen, and then we end up selling that to other customers. And
for sure. So 5 full-time in here, just picking and packing?
Yeah, the morning's usually spent picking and packing, and then everything else in the afternoon is, they also do the folding and bagging and these other finishes.
Now, folding and bagging, is that in here or is that over there?
It used to be over here in that corner, but when we renovated this building, we had an extra space, and so we put it all over there.
Do you have like a full inline, like K19 folder bagger?
We do, yep. Cool. So we can get through a lot of pieces per hour, and we actually have some jobs that are staged there. What's nice too is we were putting them in boxes and bringing them over here, and then unboxing them and folding and bagging.
Right. It's just too many moving parts.
Now we can just drop them on a pallet and stage them over there. So we also do have couriers from our other contract suppliers. So when we're over capacity, we'll run their jobs, and that's what they're doing right now, is bringing in their stuff. So it's a nice little segue. We can go see the shop if you want.
For sure. Well, it was funny, we were talking about this area when we came in, and it kind of feels like a video game where like everything around here is just like surrounded by the mountains, and it's like the video game part is like on the other side of the mountains is like the end of the map. Like you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, there's nothing beyond it.
Right.
No, that's the funny thing. Once you get up into the mountains, then there's just more mountains and more.
More and more mountains.
But yeah, no, Utah, I mean, obviously you can't beat that view, but active, outdoor lifestyle stuff is really big. And I think that's why we got so many people, coming to Utah. Just a lot of booming companies, which is great for us, a lot of potential customers. But, in this kind of new work from home era, doesn't really matter where you work, but when you're off the clock, you kind of want to be out somewhere where you can do.
It just seems like very clean. Like that was something we were saying when we even got in Salt Lake. Like everything just seemed nice and clean and new and just growing. Yeah. There was a ton of construction areas, but it was. It just seems like a nice place to be, especially for like a screen printing company, like you said, because like a new tech company could come in and it's like this big company that needs all kinds of services that you can offer. So
yeah, solar's really big right now, and it seems like every other week there's this new company is announcing that they're coming to Utah and they are going to spend $100 million in this office, and
you guys are in the middle of it.
Yeah, Utah's great for companies that sell for some reason, and it's good because those companies that sell a lot usually want a lot of merch.
Yeah. What are you guys dealing with here weather-wise? You said it kind of gets either really hot, really cold, and it's very on and off? Yeah,
so the summers are really hot, 100, 105. And the winters aren't too bad, but you can get to 20s, 30s. So
how are you guys dealing with the shop? Like, is it air-conditioned shop in the summer and then?
Yeah, so that building across the street that we were in before, there was no central heating or air. We had some of those tube heaters and just a swamp cooler. So it would get to be 95 in the summer. One of the things we wanted to do, especially through COVID, it's been really hard to find employees, and a lot of the employees that we do have been with us for 3, 4, 5 years. So we put more money into kind of trying to make the quality of life better. So we insulated the entire building. We installed central heating and air, and so now it's 75 degrees in there with some airflow. And
yeah, that definitely makes people want to stay.
So we'll take you in. So you're asking about the bagging and folding.
K950.
Yep. So we had the older version, the 800 or 7, whatever. But when they came out with the auto bagger, we got that, but then wanted to try running it inline. And what they're doing now is actually kind of a hybrid.
I mean, they're pumping through a good amount of stuff at a time, though.
Yeah, when they're inline, I think it caps out at like 500, 600 shirts per hour. But when they're doing this way at max capacity, they can pump out 800, 900 shirts an hour.
Yeah.
So
they seem to have a good flow going on.
Yeah, so they're bagging and tagging and putting in these boxes, and then they get brought over and put in all those bins.
How many orders are you doing that aren't fulfillment wise that you're shipping out?
The vast majority are. So this is one of our our restaurant clients. We do the uniform program. So we might do periodic large batches, and then they'll sit in inventory for a few months, and then we'll restock. But this is another tech company that's doing some custom hoodies. So I think we're just replacing the hoodie strings
Oh, really?
on those. But then they'll ship out. And so what's really nice is instead of putting everything in boxes and taking them across the street and unboxing them, now we just put them on a pallet or a cart and just stage them over here.
Right.
So if there's this is still kind of the warehouse and fulfillment team.
Right.
That's running this. Has
It's just
historically
over
been
here.
separate from the production team.
Right.
But it's a good flow. We got the space here.
Yeah. You still got a generous amount of space here, but this is a lot of like staging.
Yeah. So only product that's been received in full comes over here. We tag it with the order number.
Right.
And then a day or two before, we're actually 2 days
Staging them on
ahead.
cards.
Yep, we stage them in the order that they should be printed. And we're still trying to get more digital, but each cart just has the product,
Right.
the mock-up, customer.
Now, what are you guys using for like a CRM as far as like a shop management?
It's one that we developed in-house, so it's constantly changing and updating. But
Well, you were saying more digital. I didn't know if you were going to do a thing where like that PO had a barcode and they could scan it and it would pull up all the artwork.
Yep. No, Printavo is definitely a very inspirational in what they can achieve there. Our workflow is just a little bit different than what they can support, but yeah. So
do what works for you.
Yep. So barcodes, but all the press operators do have an iPad where they have all that job information. So all the walls are white because it's all insulated. It's an 1.5-inch foam.
So this is what you guys added was the foam walls.
We did the walls, we did the floors, we painted, and then all this electrical was the majority of what we...
Well, it's nice that it's all open rafters. You can run it through there.
Yep. In the other building, we had the open rafters, but there was no insulation above. And so we had to choose between either shutting it all, insulating it and losing all that benefit, or just leaving it open and not getting the insulation. So
you got what, a Sportsman, a Stryker?
14 station, 22 station Stryker.
Did you guys get the Stryker for the DS, or was it Stryker first, then the DS added?
We got them both at the same time.
Same time, yeah.
So we had entertained the idea of putting the DS on a Cobra.
Right.
But the more we looked into it, because we had the space.
The space saving of the Stryker?
Yeah. So we were super stoked to get that. Haven't had a press that big. In the other shop, we were running 2 Sportsmans and 2 manuals. So we still have the smaller Sportsman over there. Trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. But yeah, we have this one set up primarily for the DS, but we know realistically until we start running that full time, we'll be running.
Are they running a DS print right now?
Yeah, we're doing some self promo. We had this delivered in July, and we got some training in August on it. So since then,
it's still relatively fresh.
Yeah, we don't have a price list. We're not opening up that service to our reps just yet.
Well, what's nice is you can do, like you said, self promo stuff until you get it super dialed, and then you can be like, hey, this is what we can do.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we've been really stoked about that.
Yeah.
We kind of have, we started, so we had a really old, no brand oven in the other shop. And we were doing film and everything. And so that's when I started getting involved in production, was more
a little more planning.
Converting to the digital side of things.
Right.
So we started with the iMage, which is back there in our screen room. And that was the first thing we bought new. But then we quickly got the reclaim unit, the eco rinse, split belt. Right. It's kind of all planned out over 2 or 3
Yeah, I
years.
definitely love the split belt. That's like one of the best things I did. Like I said, we had an original Sprint, not a Sprint 3000, but we didn't have a split belt, and we were running 2 autos on the same press. But the problem was we were constantly, this one wants to do water base, this one wants to do plasol. Well, let's do the water base when this guy goes on lunch, and back and forth. And as soon as we got rid of the Sprint, which there was nothing wrong with it, we just wanted a newer, more efficient split belt. The split belt was like game changer for recipes.
And that's where I really appreciated our M&R rep, because she's the one who introduced us to that idea of not just replacing our old dryer, but to get the split belt.
I love the high techness of this tool you got going on here.
You get that that tack on the floor.
It's a piece of pipe with a vice grip attached with a razor blade clamped. It's like you need to spray paint it blue and put an M&R logo on it.
There we go. Just whatever works.
Yeah. are they running this right now, or are they just?
Yeah. So I think you know, talking about all the delays or just the supply issues with ink.
Right.
We got this thinking we could just get all the digital ink without any issue.
Right.
And we just found out that there was really nothing. So within the last couple of weeks, we've just finally started getting all the different components to those ink systems. And so we're really trying those out.
Testing it out now.
And, you know, mixing them out, or, you know, we got the dye blocker, you know, the bases, the pre-digital, and the top coat. So we're trying to figure out, when do we use all four? When can we get away with just two or maybe one?
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, that's cool. How long ago did you get this?
I think it didn't have more than probably 20 or 50,000 impressions. They bought it new in October of 2016. I think we bought it from them in the spring of 2017.
Oh, dang.
So this was a steal, and this has been great to work with.
Yeah, it's super nice.
But yeah, we've got our ink mixing
Right.
all over there.
What's coming out of the wall over there?
So all of our pneumatics are recessed into the foam. So that's what you see.
Right.
So we didn't know. We wanted to be flexible. So we kind of put it on each wall.
If you need it, it's there.
Yep. So it feeds the cleaning station. And obviously we got it for the squeegee and whatnot.
Oh, it's cool, man.
But yeah, so we've got, you know, we try to focus on flow. Everything's starting over there.
So what's the next piece of equipment you're going to try to add in here?
We've tried to avoid DTG for a long time.
Right.
So we don't have plans on it, but again, if things continue to keep developing,
especially in the fulfillment world.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, you just added the digital Squeegee and Stryker not that long ago. So I'm asking you, what do you want to add? And you're kind of like, oh, I just did add.
That was the whole reason for this whole makeover. Yeah. So yeah, we don't have any immediate plans because we're really trying to get the most out of that before we think about anything else.
I mean, realistically, you could scooch this way. You could turn the Stryker this way. You could add another press over here.
We thought about putting that 10 station, you know, over there. Yeah. Theoretically, it does fit, and we have all the electrical running for it.
Right.
We just chose, you know, we didn't have. If you have 3 presses running full bore, like it's just the belts or that dryer's not going to handle.
Well,
it.
you just get a little dryer specifically for that auto.
Yeah, a little Economax.
Yeah, it's something good.
You know, so it's nice to still have some options. But yeah. So this feels a lot better than the 95 degrees and 80% humidity
nice in here.
that we get in the other shops. So.
No, this is a good one to be in. We were in Tennessee before this, checking out shops, and it was like, I don't know, it was like 110 in some shops we were in. And it was like sweat was just, like a camera was on, it was just sweat pouring off of me.
And so when you're doing that, you know, because I've come out here and I've helped on the press and, you know, catch shirts on the dryer. And so when the sales guys, when things started really picking back up, like, well, can't we just work overtime? And you're like, I'll let you go talk to the press operator
you go talk to
who's
them
been sitting there
do you want to
for
sweat longer? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just walking around talking to you guys and hanging out, but there's people over here like working, and you know, they're sweating even more. So it's like being an owner, being conscious of like your employees, like you're saying, trying to have retention is awesome. Like keeping it temperature controlled.
Yeah.
Like people aren't as cranky when it's 75 degrees as they are when it's 100 degrees.
Right.
Well, thanks for having us out, man. The shop's great. I love that you guys have everything going on here, the new additions. What's going on for the rest of your day?
For us, just kind of continuing to execute on what we had planned for the day. Honestly, this was a really big project. It's about 6 months in the making, and now we're just trying to enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go check out the rest of Utah. Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, anytime. We'll see you.